Hi guys, hope you're well. Hope you're having a great day, and I'm glad that you're here. I'm Afaf, and I'm here to answer one of the most pressing queries that a lot of the young recent graduates have from me, and which is on how to find a career for yourself right after you graduate. Now, this is something that I do believe that there's no right or wrong answer to. This is something that you explore for yourself. But of course, there are some guiding principles that you can keep in mind while you're embarking on this journey, while you're trying to find what your real passion is, or you're trying to find the job that's the right fit for you. And yeah, so I have a list of some guiding principles for you which you can use if you're just graduating and if you're just looking for a job. So yeah, let's get right into it. The first and the most important aspect of this new job hunting experience that you're going to be getting into would be to find what your exact interest is and what your expertise is. Now, a lot of people tell me that, I don't have a particular interest or I don't have a particular expertise. And of course, when you're graduating, there's only a little expectation from you to have any expertise or no one expects you to be an expert of a particular domain. But what actually matters is that you have some sort of interest, or if you have some experience from your previous internships. So, like for example, for myself, I had an experience of like 3 to 4 internships, but all of them were in the supply chain area. Now, when I graduated, I took a job in a bank, which was completely unrelated to the expertise that I had, which was, based on my experience, supply chain. After some internships, I figured out that, this is something that's probably not going to be very, interesting for me in the long run. So I decided to explore the banking sector because I wanted to explore another interest of mine. So if you have an interest and if you have expertise in something, then of course it's the best thing ever, and you can definitely look for jobs in that specific area. But what if you don't have an interest in the area that you have expertise in, or if you don't have expertise in the area where you have an interest in? So right when you're graduating, I think this is the best time for you to explore what kinds of interests do you have. Are you more interested in marketing? Are you more interested in finance? Or even if you're not interested in one of those specific areas, what industries interest you the most? For some people, fashion industry is something that they're really interested in, and they would like to explore any function within that industry. For some people, fintech, for example, for me, fintech is really exciting and it really interests me, right? So I would want to land myself a role within that industry. So I can shortlist based on these interests that I have, whether an interest in a particular role or an interest in a particular industry. This is, I believe, a good starting point for you to start your job hunt. So once you have established interest in a particular field or a particular industry, now you really want to be seeking out new opportunities. And that is the second part of the conversation that I want to have today, which is that you really need to seek new opportunities for yourself. Be open to any kind of learning opportunity that presents itself. So I understand that when you're graduating from, especially if you're graduating from fancy college, you really want to land the best job. You really want to go to the particular top tier MNC, or you really want to create start off your career at a high note. But what most people don't acknowledge enough, or what most people don't value enough, is finding alternate paths of opportunities for yourself. So for example, if there's any volunteer work open in something which interests you, you should be open to exploring that. If there's an internship path which might lead you to if there's an internship path which might lead you to a permanent job, a lot of people are reluctant to move on to that role. You should be open to exploring that. If there's a part-time role, for example, in a company which is which seems really interesting to you, even though you're looking out for full-time roles, do explore that part-time role. Not because you that's your end goal, but because that role would actually help you build your skills. That would also, and I think this is something that's really important. It would actually, validate your interest in the particular field, in the particular role. And if none of that, it would just give you an added advantage, which you can put on, an added experience which you can put on your CV. The third thing that I want to talk about is that prepare yourself for a rigorous training process. A lot of the times, when we're graduating, we feel like, oh, we've done the hardest part of our lives. We've studied for 16 years, and now is the time where we just sit in an air conditioned office, and we go to the office at 9. We come out of the office at 5, and that's about it. And we will have a very very relaxing sort of a job which we've prepared for our entire lives. But unfortunately, that's not true. That's not something that prepares you well for the hurdles or the real life which is about to come. So, be ready for a rigorous training period of at least 4 to 5 years, because that is when you're actually learning. When you're joining, a corporate career, there is a lot that you need to learn from, from your seniors, from not just from, the role that you are in from that perspective, but also from a perspective of the industry itself. There's so many nuances in all these different industries. There's so many different evolving products now that are coming in. There's so many in different ways that these products are being marketed to the masses, and that is something that you really need to learn at this stage, and you need to get your hands dirty for it. So if you really want to grow in your career, if you really want to leave a mark where you are, you need to prepare yourself for a very very rigorous training process, and I cannot focus on this enough. I have seen new graduates coming in with expectations of, I, work life balance is very important. I'm not, this is not to say that work life balance is not important, but I've seen new graduates come in with the expectation that the job that they're joining or the career that they're trying to build, it's all going to be, roses, and it's all going to be butterflies. That's not how it is. You really need to get your hands dirty. Sometimes you need to do things that you probably did not think that would be a part of your job, but you would actually need to get down to, if you want to get something done, if you want to learn something, you would need to actually get down to the bottom of the work pyramid itself and learn hands on. And this is something that I cannot stress upon enough. The fourth point that I actually wanted to shed some light on was that explore opportunities beyond your interests as well. I'm not saying that you should leave your interests behind and you should try to do anything and everything that comes your way. That's not it. But you should definitely be open to exploring opportunities which are not directly within your interest or your expertise. For example, if you are in finance and there's a marketing gig that's coming up, someone asks you for help around marketing, don't just outrightly say, no, I'm not going to do that, because, this is something that's not my interest, or this is not something that I want to do for build my career in the longer run. But definitely try to explore these opportunities, because you never know when this experience might come in handy for you. So, for example, today, if you have a finance job, and tomorrow you're made the head of finance for a company, and you have to comment on or understand how marketing operations work, you would have at least some idea of how the operations were being done, if you have had explored those opportunities alongside what your core interest was. So I feel like this value addition to your core competency set is very important. Explore different fields, explore different verticals. If there's a part-time gig, a consultancy role, If there's a webinar that you get an opportunity to attend, if there's a seminar or an event that you get to go to, do try to understand how each and every function works, how how different industries work, what their modus operandi are, and how actually just try to build your knowledge base. The last thing that I want to talk about is finding good mentors. I feel like this is something that's really undervalued and underappreciated by us. Even though this is something that's really important in helping you grow when you're just stepping into the corporate world, or into when you're trying to build a career for yourself. There's so many opportunities that you don't get access to. There's so many um, uh, avenues of gaining exposure and gaining knowledge that you don't even realize are there unless you have a good mentor to talk to. The importance of having a good mentor, I feel like wherever I am today is because I had good mentors when I was starting my career. And I feel like this is something that a lot of the times people disregard. They don't treat their bosses or their colleagues as their mentors because they're in a competition with them, or they're trying to grow in the industry. But do try to find some people in the wherever you are in the vicinity who can be good mentors, who you can go to when there's a problem, who you can go to when you're exploring new opportunities, or who are just there for you as your sounding board. Because having a sounding board is really important, because a lot of the times what happens is that because there's so much abundance of opportunities, abundance of problems, even you get overwhelmed, and sometimes you feel stuck in your career, in your role, and you feel like there's no growth for you anymore. Here's where mentors come really they become really valuable assets for you to go to and learn from them on how to progress from the point where you are stuck, how to move forward in your life, and how to shape your career the way you want to. Mentors are only there for guidance and support, but the support system from someone who's not your friend, someone who has been in the industry for a long time, someone who really understands how things work, this becomes really important actually at the end of the day. And I do hope and wish that every one of you gets a really good mentor in your life, because honestly, mentors are people who actually make or break your career. That's my firm belief. I was very lucky to get these mentors early on in my career. Some people get them later in life, but do try to find good mentors along your way. So yeah, these were some of the things that I really wanted to talk about and shed some light on. I hope these 5 points that I talked to you about were helpful to you, especially if you are just going to be graduating in the next semester. Keep all of these pointers in mind when you're seeking for new opportunities, and when you're seeking for new roles. And do let me know if you have any more comments or queries regarding this particular subject. I will be more than happy to help. And until next time, bye bye.